Hi, it's Dennis Daily.
And I'm Howard Dicus. During the 1980s, Dennis and I did a lot of home videos enlisting the help of friends.
Yes, we were pushing VHS tape to the limits back then. We even inserted pre-taped material as we went along.
Most of this was done as part of the Shreevickmann Television Network, a genuinely ersatz endeavor.
Now, Howard and I are dipping into the archives, posting the best of Shreevickmann right here on YouTube.
So, here's another bit from the past from the old Shreevickmann Television Network.
Thank you for joining us for today's Shreevickmann Theater's presentation of How Red Was My Volvo, starring Broderick Crawford.
Now stay tuned for complete same-day commercial interrupted coverage of the Howard Obenchain Open Chili Open Golf Tournament coming up over many of this Shreevickmann Television Network station.
Join us tomorrow at this time when Shreevickmann Theater presents John Wayne, Marlon Brando, Charlton Heston, Phyllis George, Jimmy Stewart, Pinky Lee, Burt Reynolds, George Gobel, Jean Harlow, Stanley Myron Handelman, Humphrey Bogart, Dick Shawn, Victor Mature, Elizabeth Taylor, Sam Jaffe, Wally Cox, John Agar, Spencer Tracy, Betty Davis, Judy Carn, Dean Martin, Conrad Nagel, Olivia de Havilland, Carl Malden, Robert Redford, Soupy Sales, Henry Gibson, Sidney Poitier, Sir Lawrence Olivier, Lee Bonnie Baker, Jim Baker, Sir John Gielgud, Sir Ralph Richardson, Pat Robertson, Dale Robertson, Cliff Robertson, Dame Edith Evans, Richard Burton, Montgomery Cliff, Wes Montgomery, Joan Crawford, and Raquel Welsh with Wretch the Wonder Pigeon in the New York City phone directory. This is the Shreevickmann Television Network.
Bowling for scads of tuna will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you the following special vidcast.
You are about to see another Shreevickmann Sports Spectacle. Shreevickmann programs are produced with the finest equipment available to us to produce a standard that few others would match. Shreevickmann programs are distributed through the space-age facilities of our two ersatz satellites, ersatz 1 and 5. In some cities, express mail may be used. When you think Shreevickmann, think ersatz. Any rebroadcast of this vidcast without the express permission of the Shreevickmann Television Network is frowned upon.
This is the Shreevickmann Television Network, your network for the 1946 Winter Olympics. The following program is brought to you in laughing color.
And now, Shreevickmann's week-wide end of sports presents an event that will get you teed off, an event that drives you to distraction, an event that puts you on the edge of your seat, an event that... well, you get the idea. Yes, it's the event all America has been waiting for. The sporting event of the fiscal quarter. It's the Howard Obenchain Golf Classic. The Howard Obenchain Golf Classic is sponsored by Waterman's Tuna. If it's not Waterman's, I'll eat it. By Diet Drive-In, where the snack bar is always closed. And by IIPPD, International Instant Point-to-Point Delivery, when it absolutely, positively, by God, has to be there in the next couple, 3 days. Now, here are famous sports, Dennis Daily and Art Nouveau.
And for the fourth consecutive time, the Shreevickmann Television and Radio Networks are happy to bring you coverage of this, the 76th annual Howard Obenchain Open Golf Tournament. Dennis Daily here with Art Nouveau. And Art, this is not only different in a lot of ways this year, the first of which is the most beautiful weather I think we've ever had for an Obenchain, but secondly, a brand new golf course.
Well, that's right, Dennis Daily. It is beautiful weather, as we've been talking to the weather people, and they say that this is the most beautiful weather. And that
certainly is weather.
It's weather, all right. And that would have been the most important thing for us to tell you about had it not been for the fact that in the past year, Howard Obenchain did something rather special. He had a lot of trouble before with the Reston South golf course.
I might point out, if the management of Reston South is watching, the problem was not so much with management, but with complaints.
That's true. We had a lot of complaints, we're told, mainly about people standing on the grass. We don't know who those people were.
With some type of equipment, too, we were told. We can't imagine what that might be.
Never were able to nail down who that was, but Howard Obenchain finally decided he had it up to somewhere with those complaints, and as a result, he did something rather special. And Dennis, I understand you've been looking into this. Now, you want to tell us about that?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Howard Obenchain found that it would probably be to his benefit if a new site was found for the tournament. As I mentioned, there were a lot of complaints, and quite frankly, they were told that they just didn't want them there anymore. So he decided to construct his own golf course, but he quickly found in getting estimates from some of the companies around Art that the most expensive part of building a golf course is all of the greens you have to build. And so, coming up with probably one of the most inventive ideas of the 80s, Howard Stone Obenchain has conducted a survey that has ended in the construction of a massive new golfing facility, the Howard Obenchain Golfing Facility, which is one long hole, Art Nouveau.
Instead of having the usual 18-hole, what would a normal 18-hole be?
Well, it would be tens of yards and pars on each hole from 3 to 5 to 7, depending upon the difficulty. It's very confusing because you have 18 different sets of figures you have to keep.
In this case, however, Howard Obenchain has come up with a 10,000-yard, par 750 one-hole golf tournament that will be played every year at the usual time, but on his own course. Incidentally, Dennis, I understand that other people are able to play on the Howard Obenchain Golf Facility, but they have to be a fairly hardy bunch.
Yes, you will see other golfers here today, and these are members of the Professional Golf Tour Advance Committee because they are thinking about holding, we shouldn't really be saying too much about this, one of the major golf tournaments this coming year right here at the new facility.
One other thing, since it does make it somewhat more difficult having to play this one incredibly long hole, Mr. Obenchain, who, as you know, retired a year ago as Secretary of Agriculture, decided that there were other things he could do to make this a particularly challenging one-hole golf course. And one of the things that he did to make it challenging was to put in about 3 times as many sand traps as usually you would find. We'll be showing you that, incidentally, a little bit later on in the program. And he also decided to import from Malaysia the famous killer fleas. These killer fleas are large, monstrous, aggressive fleas, not like the pleasant, delicate Reston fleas.
That's right. Well, Art Nouveau, a lot to accomplish today. We have some foursomes, some threesomes, and even a twosome, I understand. And some of the golfers will be here at the beginning. Some will be joining us as this long, long day wears on. Dennis Daily here with Art Nouveau at the new Howard Obenchain Golfing Facility, very near the Reston South Country Club right here in Reston, Virginia. And I understand that already we're almost to the time when we'll see them begin to tee off. And with your permission, Art Nouveau, let's say more will be here as we continue to come back after this from the greatest spectacle in golf.